Antarctica is the least explored and perhaps the most mysterious continent on our planet. Since its discovery, the secrets of Antarctica have been haunting researchers and scientists from various fields of science. Everything about this place is shrouded in mysteries, from its climate to the very fact of the discovery of this lifeless continent. And the more this land is explored, the more secrets of Antarctica fascinate the minds of scientists. It's hard to even imagine a densely forested Antarctica, but scientists studying fossils found in the sedimentary rocks of the Antarctic Peninsula have discovered evidence that plant life once flourished there in a humid, temperate climate. This is confirmed by numerous finds of petrified remains of broadleaved forests and inhabitants of warm seas. In 1981, paleontologists unearthed the fossilized jawbone of a primitive marsupial that lived about 40 million years ago, when the Earth's global temperature was much warmer than it is today. The discovered mammal, Antarctodolopsdalii, was 30 centimeters in size and confirmed the theory about the migration of marsupials from their original habitats, America and Antarctica, to Australia. Geologists have recently found fossilized remains of dinosaur skeletons in Antarctica that lived 75 to 80 million years ago. The fossils belong to at least 4 types of marine animals, including the ancestor of the crocodile, the Mosasaurus, as well as the plesiosaur, on which the supposed appearance of the Loch Ness Monster is based. The bones of these reptiles have been previously found everywhere, from Europe to New Zealand, but finding them in Antarctica was a scientific sensation. This indicates that the continents used to be much closer to each other, and it was once much warmer on the ice continent. Fully preserved jaws and teeth of fossil animals were found among the remains. The mainland is rich in minerals. Deposits of coal ores of ferrous and non-ferrous metals and diamonds were discovered in Antarctica. But the international status of the mainland and severe weather conditions make it impossible to extract the minerals. The secret of the Pirie Reese map. In 1929, a map dated 1513 was discovered in one of the ancient places of Constantinople. In 1513, Admiral Pirie Reese of the Turkish fleet completed work on a large map of the world for his geographical atlas, Pirie. He didn't travel much, but he used about 20 cartographic sources when compiling the map. 8 of the maps belonged to the time of Ptolemy. Some belonged to Alexander the Great. The map might not have aroused much interest if it were not for the fact that it was one of the first maps to depict both Americas. In 1938, the exploration of Antarctica by the Nazis began. During 1938 to 1939, they organized 2 expeditions that carefully explored the vast territory, which was photographed meter by meter from the air and studied by scientists of the Third Reich. The entire territory was marked with thousands of metal pennants with a swastika. Thus arose one of the first mysteries of Antarctica, New Swabia. That's what the Nazis called the part of Antarctica which they declared the territory of the Third Reich. The development of this land wasn't long in coming. Thus, the Nazis built a secret base 211 between 1938 and 1943. Materials for the construction of the base were transported mainly by submarines of the secret unit called the Führer's Convoy. By the end of the war, Nazi submarines had transferred many secret documents, developments, and relics of the Third Reich to Base 211. Many researchers claim that even Hitler himself managed to escape and hide out in the ice of Antarctica for a long time. The Nazis were determined to find the entrance to the inner world in the land covered with ice. Some German scientists shared the hollow Earth theory that claimed that there were gigantic voids under the surface of the planet, which were actually real oases with warm air. According to German experts, such voids existed in Antarctica. The archival documents of SMERSH contained information that in 1938, German submariners who explored the ice continent allegedly found something under the ice. According to the classified documents, those were underground territories with mountains and continents, oceans of fresh water, the inner sun around which the Earth rotated. Getting to these territories was supposedly possible by performing special maneuvers in submarines. Moreover, there's a legend that claims that the Germans didn't just find this mysterious passage, but they even used it to hide their new weapons, such as the UFOs that are commonly called German flying saucers. Porters of this theory allege that the expedition to Antarctica undertaken by the Americans in 1947 was organized with the aim to search for the German Antarctic base. Some experts claim that the expedition of the American Admiral Byrd encountered the very new German weapon hidden in the ice of Antarctica, which supposedly didn't only destroy several ships and aircraft, but also made the Americans and Europeans forget the way towards Antarctica for quite some time. This conspiracy theory regarding those distant events of the past has many supporters, especially among ufologists. Another disturbing secret of Antarctica is Lake Vostok, which lies under 3.8 kilometers of ice and is 1,200 meters deep. The Russian polar station Vostok is located right above the lake. After its discovery, the lake became of interest to scientists around the world. Interest in it awoke after American satellites managed to obtain some interesting information about it. Increased magnetic activity was recorded in the lake area, and the water temperature in it was determined to range from +10 to +18, which indicated the presence of a geothermal source or some kind of other heat source. It also turned out that there was an 800-meter high space between the surface of the water and the ice cap. According to scientists, this space between water and ice could have a completely unique atmosphere, conserved since ancient times, and perhaps there could be unique organisms and even plants still existing in that relatively warm atmosphere. However, these facts wouldn't seem so mysterious if the US government didn't suddenly decide to classify all further research on this lake. Up until 2002, the lake was explored by an international group of scientists on the part of the United States, and all the information was accessible to the public. Scientific articles on this topic were published, and conferences were held. All of a sudden, all civilian scientists were removed from the research group, and all further research was taken over by the United States National Security Agency, or NSA. Russia also classified its research, and thus another mystery of Antarctica arose. Subsequently, scientific expeditions equipped with the latest technology were sent to Lake Vostok, while the governments of the United States and Russia spared no funds for these expeditions, and of course, it was all done in secret. So what could interest the governments of these countries in this lake in the middle of the ice? Could they have found creatures or microorganisms in the lake that people have never encountered before? There are numerous rumors about this strange lake, such as that all sorts of monsters and prehistoric lizards have been found in it. We have no way of knowing the truth, but the very fact that more and more countries are classifying their research in this area confirms that something mysterious is going on there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like this particular secret of Antarctica is going to be shared with the general public anytime soon. Reports of anomalies in the South Pole region have been coming in since polar explorers first attempted to reach it, namely at the beginning of the 20th century. Thus, on January 18, 1912, polar explorer Robert Falcon Scott and his teammates reached the magnetic South Pole, having lost only one person along the way. However, they took a different route on their way back, and all the remaining members of the expedition died. According to the official report, Scott's expedition died to the harsh weather conditions of Antarctica. However, judging by the records that were discovered later, what they encountered on their way back wasn't just bad weather. They seemed to have faced some inexplicable anomalies, strange, luminous spheres that destroyed the members of the expedition one by one. Scientists became even more interested in this mystery of Antarctica after other expeditions to the South Pole also encountered the strange anomalies. Scientists became even more interested in this mystery of Antarctica after other expeditions to the South Pole also encountered strange anomalies. Thus, the expedition to the South Pole, which set off from the Mirny station, ended tragically in the late 1950s. Only 2 of the 6 researchers returned, and only one of them was sane. Yuri Korshunov. He later wrote that their expedition was attacked by a huge, luminous sphere which was 15 to 20 meters in diameter and could change color and shape, turning into something resembling a sausage with a hole like a mouth, which it could move. The snow under this creature melted instantly. Its attacks left people with severe burns, while their clothes turned into burnt rags. Another incident happened in 1966. The American expedition set off from the Midway station and returned in full force. However, half of the 17 people from the expedition soon ended up in a psychiatric clinic. All the stories and records of the researchers were immediately classified. Polar explorers have repeatedly come across such secrets of Antarctica, anomalies in the form of huge spheres or other shapes that melted snow and caused various magnetic phenomena when they appeared, have been witnessed by many researchers in the area of the South Magnetic Pole, many of whom fell victim to them. The mystery of Antarctica got its name in 1966. This deadly phenomenon was named plasma source by the American physicist Roy D. Christopher. He suggested that plasmasaurs were living creatures in the form of plasma clots. Scientists believe that this anomaly is a psychophysical bundle of energy that causes hallucinations and strikes people with high-power electrical discharges. Scientists also suggest that these creatures appeared before the emergence of organic life on our planet. How many other secrets of Antarctica will scientists uncover? We'll probably never be able to answer this question. This mysterious continent holds many more discoveries.